Hello learners, I am Dr. Subodh Kesharwani working with Indira Gandhi National Open University in School of Management Studies. The topic I am going to talk today is variation. Before going into the depth of this topic, I just want to throw a light that this is a topic which is related with our course called MCU3, which is part of our MCOM program, and we are here to discuss about the variation, which is related to the chapter 8, talking about the measures of variation. So we are here to start with what exactly this abbreviated term is variation, because variation is a way to show how data is dispersed or spread out. There are several measures of variation which are used in statistics like range, quartile deviation or standard deviation or interquartile range. So we are going to talk more about that variation also, rather we can say the measure of variation. But prior to going into the depth of this thing, this particular presentation, this particular talk is revolves around the term called variation. Variance, which we represent with sigma square in statistics, is a measurement of the spread between numbers in a data set. That is, it measures how far each number in the set is from the mean and therefore from every other number in the set. So if you go more into the backdrop, you will find out that it is a term which is linked with variability in statistics, because when you talk about the variance, you should know that variability, also called spread or dispersion, refers to how spread out a set of data is. And when you are going to talk more about the variability gives you a way to describe how much data sets vary and allows you to use statistics to compare your data to other sets of data. The four main ways to describe variability in a data set are range. I have already throw a glimpse about that, and when we are going more into the depth of this measure of variation, I think we are going to talk more about these four terms in a more elaborative manner. So range is there, then interquartile range is there, then variance is there, and then standard deviation is there. So when we are going to talk more about the measure of variance, I think we are elaborately going to discuss about these four terminologies. So now the question is that why understanding variability is important, because when you are going to talk about the variance, or you're going to talk about the variability, we have to take a step back and first get a handle on why understanding variability is so essential. Because uh, if there are certain analysts which frequently use mean to summarize the center of population or a process, while the mean is relevant, people often react to variability even more. So when a distribution has lower variability, the values in the data sets are more consistent. So to maintain those consistency, I think this variability is going to play a very important role. And there are some good illustrations, some examples which can throw a light on what exactly this uh, distribution is. So when the variability is higher, the data points are more dissimilar and extreme values become more likely. I think in our preceding sessions, we have seen that how we have calculated the averages by using the measure of center tendency. Either it could be mean, median, mode, or arithmetic mean or geometric mean. But there are certain, the constraints that when the outlier comes, I think we have no choice but to move towards the measure of variance. So this is where there is a use of variance or variability, and understanding variability helps you to grasp the likelihood of unusual events. So there are certain situations where extreme values can cause problems, and you have seen that weather report where the meteorologist shows extreme heat and drought in one area and flooding in another area. So it would be nice to average those together. So frequently we will feel discomfort at the extremes more than the mean. So understanding that variability around the mean provides critical information. So we will see that how important this variability is. And variability is something which is not confined to one place, but it is something which appears or occurs everywhere. So your commute time to work varies a bit every day. When you order a favorite dish at a restaurant repeatedly, it is not exactly the same each time. The parts that come off an assembly line might appear to be identified, but they have subtly different lengths and widths. So these are the examples of real life variability, and some degree of variation is unavoidable. However, too much inconsistency can cause problems. So if your morning commute takes much longer than the mean travel time, you will be late for work. And if the restaurant this is much different than how it is usually, you might not like it at all. And if a manufactured part is too much out of spec, it won't function as intended. So what I mean to say is, so there are certain problem occurs at the extremes, and how you're going to narrow down those extremes thing, the variability is going to play a very important role. And there are certain good examples which can talk about, how this variability can works. And the very good example is, the hypothetical example which we are going to take, the dish which is going to serve in the restaurants. Take example of a pizza, and we have seen that delivery time is 20 minutes. When we go into the depth, you find out that it sounds equally good. However, its equivalence can be deceptive to determine the restaurant that you should order from where you are hungry. So we need to analyze their variability, and this is where the things are there. So I think prior to going into the depth of this topic, as far as the variability is concerned, I just want to throw a light what exactly we have covered in our preceding sessions, and what just to have a linkage about that. Because when you talk about statistics, when you talk about research methodology, I think you have to be quite cautious that this statistics is a term which works as a chain model. So there are certain terms which are frequently used, like if we talk about the collection of data, or if we talk about the processing and preservation of data. So we have a very elaborative sessions which revolves around this term called statistical derivatives. And introduction to business research we have already covered, research plan we have covered, collection of data we have covered. Sampling is very important, either it could be the random sample or a non-random sampling. And in measure of scaling techniques, we have seen that how the comparative scale and non-comparative scales are going to be scaled, and processing of data, then diagrammatic representation of data, and how the data is going to be present diagrammatically, that is more important. And statistical derivatives and measure of central tendency was the session which talks about the mean, median, and mode. So we have already talked about all those things in a more elaborative manner, and it had got linkage. So now this particular session, if you see, it talks about the variation and the significance of variation. So if we go more into the depth of this particular chapter, I think it also talks about the measures of variation, but this we are going to discuss in our next session. And this particular session revolves around the variation and significance of variation. So if you see this, if you talk more into the backdrop, you will find out that it describes the concepts and significance of measuring variability for data analysis, compute various measures of variation, and its application for analyzing the data. So this is the thing which is there, and we can able to choose an appropriate measure of variation in the different situations, like range, quartile deviation, standard deviation, or mean deviation. So anyway, this the preceding session was more talking about the average, the central tendency, which more talk about the mathematical average, the positional average. If you go more into the depth of this mathematical average, you will find out the mean is there, then arithmetic mean is there, then geometric mean is there, then harmonic mean is there. So the mean is going to be bifurcated in the mathematical average is going to be bifurcated into this, and positional average is going to be bifurcated into mean, median, and mode. So we have already seen that. So what is the relationship between mean, median, and mode? So if a frequency distribution graph has a symmetrical frequency curve, then mean, median, and mode will be equal. So this is the relationship between mean, median, and mean and median. In case of positively skewed frequency, I think we have in this chapter we are going to more talk about the skewness also. So we will see that in case of positively skewed frequency distribution, the mean is always greater than median, and the median is always greater than the mode. So that this is the relationship. And when you are going to talk the describing data numerically, you will find out the central tendency talks about arithmetic mean, median, mode, and geometric mean. And this variation talks about the quartiles, and then variation talks about range, interquartile range, variance, standard deviation, and coefficient of variation. And then when you are talking in terms of shapes, I think the skewness is there. So central tendency, quartiles, either it could be third quartile or fourth quartile, then variation is there, then shape is there. So in the past presentation, we have learned about the measure of central tendency. We have seen that they give us only a single figure that represents the entire data. And however, central tendency alone cannot adequately describe a set of data. unless all the values of the variables in the collecting data are the same. So there is no average can sufficiently analyze the data if all the values in the distribution are widely spread, and hence the measure of standard identity must be supported and supplemented with other measure for analyzing the data more meaningfully. So generally there are three other characteristics of data which provide us useful information for data analysis, like variation, skewness, and kurtosis. Variation we are here to more talk about, and then measure of variation is one of the pedagogy by which you are going to evaluate the variation. Then skewness is there because skewness is going to give you the shape, and kurtosis is there. Kurtosis is also one of the way of presenting a data. So we will gradually discuss one by one all these, but here we are going to more talk about the variance. So variance, if you see, I think we have a little bit talk about the variability in variance. So variance is the average square difference of the values from the mean. To calculate these statistics, you calculate a set of square difference between the data points and the mean, sum them, and then divide by the number of observations. So hence it is the average squared difference. That is why it is mentioned as sigma square. So variance is a parameter of distribution, and now there are certain difference between the variation and variance. So variance is a parameter of distribution, standard deviation squared, that helps us describe the distribution shape and the data spread, whereas variation is a less precise term intended to describe changes in the values of a variable or the spread of a data. So now the question is that how we are going to interpret variance. A variance of 0 indicates that all of the data values are identical. All non-zero variants are positive. A small variance indicates that the data points tend to be very close to the mean and to each other, and high variance indicates that the data points are very spread out from the mean and from one another. So what we have interpreted from this variance, that a non-zero variants are positive, and variance of 0 indicates that all data values are identical. So now why it is important to understand the term called variation, because and why there is a need of measure of variation. Measure of variation are statistics that indicate the degree to which numerical data tend to spread about an average value. So it is also called dispersion, scatter, spread, etc. It is related to the homogeneity of the data. In the simple words of Simpson of Kafka, the measurement of scatterness of the mass of figure data in a series about an average is called measure of variation. This is the term called measure of variation. Therefore, we can say variation measures the extent to which the items scatter from average. So to be more specific, an average is more meaningful when the data are examined in the light of variation. In fact, in the absence of measure of dispersion, it will not be possible to say which one of the two or more set of data is represented more closely and adequately by its arithmetic mean value. So what we have observed, that this variation is something which is very important in the present scenario, when the data size is going to be quite gigantic in nature, and you are going to know the trend about the data. And when you are familiar with the trend of the data, I think variation of the data, I think very easily you can monitor, you can analyze the thing. So why it is natural variation in statistics? So natural variability is a quality control related concept. And if we talk about, the manufacturing or service exhibit a certain amount of natural variability is there, and such variability is also known as chance or random variation. So a process that is operating with only one natural variability is also to be in a state of statistical control. So this is the model which is there, and we have got a very good illustration. I think this illustration is quite pragmatic in nature, and if you go into the depth of this this particular, the slide or the image, you will find out that how we are going to distinguish between the average and variation. And so let's start with the illustration, and you may notice that the marks of 3 students have the same mean, that is average marks of A, B and C are the same. I think if this is the marks scored by the student, and if you see the average, I think the mean is coming 50 in all the 3 cases. that is the total is 250 and the mean is 50 50 50. And but if you should note that by observing distribution subject wise, there is wide difference in the marks of these three students. That is very true. If you, in case of A, the marks in each subjects are 50, hence we can say each and every item to the data is perfectly represented by the mean, or in other words, there is no variation. So if you see this A, I think you can very easily know that in each paper, the marks code is 50 and the average is coming 50. So there is no such variation in this case. So I think average is one of the best way to get the result of that. So, but in case of B, there is slight variation as compared to C. Whereas in case of C, not a single item perfectly represented by the mean, and the items vary widely from one another. So what we have observed that if you go into the backdrop, you find out that in as far as the marks scored by the B is 50 in research methodology, where 70 40 50. So average is coming, total is coming to 50, and when you take an average it is coming 50. So but there is very slight variation. But when you are talking about C, I think this is more important, where you see that in research methodology, the marks code is 10, in accounting for managers is 100, in financial management it is 80, and marketing management it is 30. So there is great variation. So now if you are going to compare, so this 100 need to be 100 or 10 need to be considered as an outlier, or 80 considered to be outlier, because there is a big difference between the marks. But the average is coming. If you take an average, I think average is coming 50. But if you go into the backdrop of each thing, you will find out that there is a vast difference between the all the scoring marks. So what we mean to say, there is a wide difference in the marks of these three students, and thus different set of data may have the same value of average, but may differ greatly in terms of spread or scatter of items. So when we are going to spread those particular marks code, I think there the variation comes. So this is a beauty of the variability, beauty of the variance, that very easily you can know what exactly the difference is. So the study of variability therefore is necessary. It's very necessary, because with the help of that you can able to know the average scatter of the item, from the average to gauge the degree of variability in the collected data. So this is something which is there, and when you are going to talk about the significance of variation, the measure of variability is useful to various situations. Now take another example which can give you a more elaborative view, or more conceptual view about what exactly the significance of variation is. Like, we can take an example of the family who intends to cross a lake. They come to know that average depth of the lake is 4 feet, because they have taken an average. But the average height of the family is 5.5 feet. Then they decide that the lake can be crossed safely, and while crossing the lake at a particular place, all the members of the family get drowned, where the level of the water is more than 6.5 feet deep. So what happened? They have taken an average, but at some of the places, the outlier is there, or the depthness is there, which is somewhat more than the average. So average was 4 feet, but this is more. So the reason was drawing is that they rely on the average depth of the lake and the average height, but do not rely on the variability of the lake's depth and their height. So in the light of above example, we may understand the reason for measuring variability of given data. So that is more important, and that is the reason it provides us the option that we can go for the variation of the thing. So there is a great significance of variation to judge the reliability of an average. Financial analysts examine the variation of a firm's earning. We have when we are going to talk about in a business perspective, we see there is a great use of financial analyst as far as the variation is concerned. And financial analysts examine the variation of a firm earnings on the basis of this. So if earnings are widely scattered, extremely high to low, or even negative, it indicates a high risk to investors. Where there is a wide scattered in the data, the measure of variation gives a description of the structure of the data. And if variation is small, the average closely represents the individual values and may say it is reliable. So on the other hand, if the variation is greater than average, may be unreliable. So what I mean to say that this is a very important there is a great significance of variation, and when you are going to talk in terms of the significancy, I think this variation and variability and reliability is very important. And to compare the series with regard to their variability, measuring variation enables us to compare the variability between two or more series. It is useful to study the degree of uniformity and consistency in different data sets. A greater degree of variation in a data set means low degree of consistency. On the other hand, low degree of variation means high degree of consistency in that distribution. So when we are going to talk, the measure of variation, we are going to calculate the four terms like range, quartile deviation, or the standard deviation or mean deviation. We will definitely talk about the mathematical version of it, and we will see how it is going to be applied. So to provide a basis for the control of variability itself, it facilitates to determine the nature and cause of variation. In order to control the variation itself, quality control experts analyze the variation of the quality of a product. For instance, a drug that may be average in purity but varies from very pure to highly impure may endanger lives. So that is a reason the significance of variation is very important, and significance of variation help us to facilitate the use of other statistical measures. And this is very important because many analytical devices in statistics, such as hypothesis testing, I think we have already talked in our preceding session about hypothesis, and we know that how powerful the hypothesis is, because when you find out the gap and when you frame the objectives on the basis of that, you formulate the hypothesis. And hypothesis can be moved in a two-way mode. One is it could be null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis. So hypothesis can be accepted or rejected because it is purely an assumption. So in our coming sessions, we will see that when we are going to test the hypothesis, I think this variation and variability test is very important, and this is one of the important ingredients or the steps which is going to play a very important role, and cause control analysis and fluctuation. So it is going to help and facilitate the thing in a different manner. And correlation regression analysis is also one of the way by which we are going to do, and we will learn more about these terminologies in our coming sessions. Techniques of production control is there, and keeping in view above purpose, the variation of data must be taken into account while taking business decisions, because so as far as the business decision is concerned, as far as the commerce graduates or the commerce postgraduates are concerned, I think when you talk about the statistics, when you talk about the business decisions, these are the terminologies like significance of variation is very important, a very important ingredient as far as the thing is concerned. Anyway, I think and there are certain difference also. I think when we are going to talk more about the standard deviation, and as far as the measurement of variance is concerned or measure of variance is concerned, I think there we can see that there is a difference between the standard deviation and how standard deviation better than the variance, because standard deviation and variance are closely related. And to the descriptive statistics, we have seen in our preceding sessions that we have elaborately talked about the descriptive statistics or the inferential statistics. So descriptive statistics revolves around and emphasize more on capturing the population, whereas inferential statistics is based on the assumptions and try to apply the certain tests, either it could be t-test or ANOVA test, or the test which can assume the things and take the decisions on the basis of that. So through standard deviation is more commonly used because it is more intuitive with respect to units of measurement, and variance is reported in the squared value of units of measurement, whereas standard deviation is reported in the same unit as. So anyway, this is the formula by which we can calculate a simple variance, and we see that x is there, and then x bar is there, and divide by n-1. n-1 is number of how many times the item is there, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so n is 6 minus 1, whereas x minus x bar is 1 minus 2.83, which is x is 1, this is x bar, and 2 is this. So whatever the value comes, we take a square of that and find out the value. So this is the way by which we are going the sample variance. And what is the best measure of variation? Consequently, the standard deviation is the most widely used measure of variability. And though there are other ways of doing the thing, but we will definitely throw a light in our coming sessions. I think in our next sessions we are going to more talk about the measure of variation, and this measure of variation starts with the range, then quartile deviation, then mean deviation. standard deviation and coefficient of variation is there. So once we get a flavor of this method of variation, I think we can able to apply certain formulas and methodologies by which we are going to calculate. Anyway, I think I have talked a lot about variations and or variability, and this is very important aspect. So thank you very much. We will have some more thought-provoking sessions in our in the coming days, which we're definitely going to talk about that. Thank you very much.